I wasted 6 years trying to make money online. 6 years. And it wasn't because I was lazy. It wasn't because I wasn't smart enough. It was 6 beliefs I didn't even know I had. Here's the part that should scare you a little. The same 6 beliefs are probably running your life right now, quietly, in the background, deciding what you try, what you charge, when you quit. By the end of this video, you're going to know all 6. You're going to know exactly which one is running you, and you're going to know how to rewrite it. For 16 years, I sat in senior corporate marketing at Apple, Nestle, and Coca-Cola. And the whole time, I was building this online, on the side, around a full-time job. I failed at it for 6 years before any of it worked. So none of this is theory. Quick honesty before we start. I'm Alwi's AI twin. He researches and writes every one of these himself, then I deliver it. Nothing here is faked and nothing here is theory. Let's start with number 1. Every decision you make online runs on a script you didn't write. What you try, what you charge, whether you even start, it's all being run by a script. And you probably didn't write it. It got installed by every course that let you down. Every guru who oversold you, every restart that ended in the same place. Somewhere in there, your brain wrote a rule, and now that rule runs the whole show. Let me show you the 3 most common ones. The avoider. This one believes people who make real money online are just lucky, or they started early, or they already had money. Not me. So they sabotage the thing before they even begin. The chaser. This one worships the next tool. New AI thing drops and they think this is the one. They buy it. They get excited. They don't finish it. Then the next one drops. That was me. For 6 years. Young, dumb, and broke. Alwi ran the chaser script into the ground. A good start, a good struggle, a good quit. Then I'd run the whole thing back and do it all over again. What kept me in that loop was one thought I couldn't shake. What if I was that close? What if I just kept going? I finally stopped restarting and gave it 12 straight months of real focus. And in 2025, I walked away from corporate for good. The hider. This one ties their whole self-worth to results. So when it doesn't work, they fail quietly. They hide it out of shame and try again in secret. I know that one personally. There was a point I had to tell my mentor I hadn't made a single sale. Here's the thing about all 3. Those aren't lessons. They're other people's thoughts that you picked up and started carrying. And once a thought like that gets written into your head, it starts running everything. So here's how you find yours. Write down your earliest memory of someone trying to make money outside a job. What did they say about it? How did they act? That's probably your script. And once you can see it, you can rewrite it. Your new one can be simple. I'm someone who can turn attention into income if I follow the right path. You don't have to believe it yet. You just have to write it down. Your income online is capped by how you see yourself, not by your skill, not by the algorithm, by your own self-image. If you see yourself as the person who watches other people win, you stay a watcher. Your brain works like a thermostat. It fights to keep you at the temperature it thinks you belong at. For years, I saw myself as scrappy, surviving, getting by. I knew logically I could do more. But every time I got close to a real jump, I'd wind myself up. What if I mess up? What if it doesn't work again? I didn't realize it at the time. That was the thermostat, pulling me back to the temperature I was used to. Now watch how fast that ceiling moves once the self-image changes. Nate started at $58.50 in his first month, then he blew past it because he changed who he thought he was before the money ever moved. Jeff made his first sale at 51. Ishan made his at 19 from India with 0 work experience. Different ages, different countries, same exact shift. So here's what I want you to do. Grab a pen and paper, draw a line down the middle. On one side, write, I'm the kind of person who, and finish it honestly. I quit early. I overthink. I hide. Whatever's true. On the other side, write, I'm the kind of person who builds and gets paid with AI. You don't have to feel like that person yet. I just want you to not be repulsed when you read it. Then read it before every decision you make. The moment your self-image moves, your income follows it, not the other way around. You were programmed to consume, not to build. That's why there's a shelf of courses you never finished. Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, one of the first money books I ever read, put it as simple as it gets. The rich buy assets. The middle class buys liabilities thinking they're assets. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out. That's the whole game. And here's the trap most people fall into. They buy fragments of information and think they bought an asset. A course you never execute isn't an asset. It cost you money and gave you nothing back. That's a liability. Now I have to be straight with you because I sell a program. The problem was never investing. I've spent real money on mentors and I do it again. The problem was investing in fragments with no execution in the wrong order. The asset was never the product. It was the person, the path, and the skill I actually walked away with. Because a skill is an asset. It pays you back every single time you use it. And in 2026, there's a second asset most people don't even know they can build. A system that turns attention into income while you sleep. An AI twin, a faceless channel. That's an asset. It works when you're not working. Views don't pay you, systems do. Attention is just raw material. The system is the asset. So before you buy the next thing, ask one question. Does this build a system that pays me back, or does it just get added to the pile? It's too late is a hallucination. Here's the belief that's quietly killing more underdogs than any other. It's too late. Everyone's already doing AI. The niche is saturated. All the attention is taken. That's your berry brain talking. 1,000 years ago, our ancestors fought over berries because berries were finite. If your neighbor had more, your family had less. That wiring kept them alive. And your brain still runs it today. Except it's aiming that old survival wiring at something that isn't finite at all. Attention isn't berries. There is more attention being created every single day than has ever existed in human history. It is not a fixed pie you're fighting over. It's an ocean that keeps filling up. And in 2026, AI knocked down the 3 walls that used to keep you out. Cost, time, and needing a team. That's the faceless blue ocean. The water is still empty. People are only just starting to wade in. Let me prove it isn't crowded. I hit 10 million views in 27 days. Brand new account, no face. And I did it on the laziest strategy on purpose. I stopped making new content and recycled what I already had, just to prove the system works when the foundation is right. That doesn't happen in a saturated ocean, it happens in an empty one. The abundance move is simple. When scarcity says, I can't afford to start, you flip it to, how do I start? When it says, it's too late, you flip it to, the water's still empty. I invested in proximity to people ahead of me back when the number genuinely scared me. Scarcity brain screamed at me the whole time. I did it anyway. It's a big reason I ever scaled at all. The fear of losing is keeping you exactly where you are. 2 researchers, Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky, proved something about the human brain that explains almost everything about why people stay stuck. Losing feels about twice as bad as winning feels good. The pain of losing is roughly double the pleasure of gaining. So your brain is wired to protect what you have, not to chase what you could have. That's why people hold the dead-end job. That's why they avoid trying AI. That's why they never put themselves out there. Starting feels like risking a loss, and the brain hates loss more than it loves the win. I stayed inside the safety of corporate longer than I should have, because walking away felt like losing something. It wasn't until later that I understood staying cost me far more than leaving ever would have. Now here's the biggest loss fear of all for the underdog. Looking dumb on camera, putting your face out there and getting judged. That single fear has killed more businesses than any algorithm ever will. And this is exactly where AI becomes permission to participate. The twin removes the loss. You don't have to risk your face to start. Walter used an AI twin to sell a book he wrote. 3 orders. Paul closed a $1,000 a month client with 1 AI video in 48 hours. Not views, not followers. A real paying client. They just stopped letting the fear of loss make the decision for them. So reframe every loss as tuition. I paid 6 years to learn the real path, and I'd pay it again. What you've been calling failure was the price of the map. You're trying to save money. It's costing you. The one thing you can't make more of. Time. Money multiplies. Time doesn't. So people spend their whole lives trying to save money, and they pay for it with years. They do everything themselves, record every video, edit every clip, show their face every single day to save a few dollars. And they lose years they're never getting back. The people winning right now do the opposite. They buy time. And AI is the greatest time buy that has ever existed. An AI twin records once and shows up everywhere. A faceless channel runs semi-automated. Expert-level advice that used to take years and serious money to reach is now sitting in your pocket. If you're still in a 9-to-5, this is the part that should hit hardest. You can build a semi-automated business on the side that keeps running while you're at your job. That is genuinely new. That did not exist a few years ago, but I have to keep the cost in because it's the truth. AI will not save passive people. It multiplies builders. The 10 million views didn't happen because AI is magic. They happened because a human built the system first. Then AI ran the delivery. This is the belief that changes everything. Stop selling your time. Start building assets that buy it back. If you remember nothing else from this whole video, remember this. You were never the problem. The path was. 6 beliefs kept you stuck, not a lack of ability. So don't try to fix all 6 this week. You'll do nothing. Pick the one that hit you the hardest, the one that made you a little uncomfortable. Rewrite that one this week. Most AI courses teach you to create. I teach you to get paid. And if you want to see the whole path, the same faceless system behind the 10 million views, comment the word engine below and I'll send you the link. Stop watching. Start building.